40.
I wrote a song for a Spanish artist many years ago. His name is David Bisbal, and I think the song is called 10,000 Maneras. The original title is Shipwrecked, and I can't even remember why I gave that song to him. The production process for a film like this has been very different from what I'm used to. When I write an album as Christopher, as myself, I can write about almost anything, and I can move around in different genres and stuff. But I think this movie sort of narrowed the field a little bit, and I had to write these songs from my character's perspective. So I was Elliot Winter when I wrote these songs, and he's in this very sort of confused, almost left alone, almost depressed state of mind. And I know that these songs had to be about how to find your people, how to relate to people, and how to find your own voice. And that made it almost a little bit easier to write these songs. So it's been a very cool process, and just writing these songs while the script was being written just made it so clever. And in the dialogue in the movie, you have some lines from some of the songs and stuff. So it was, for me, it's one of the coolest creative processes I've ever been a part of. No, I don't have to ask anyone for permission. Luckily, I would say, but for sure, I mean, A Beautiful Life was written before Mehdi came to me and asked me about this, and it was written because my wife came to me and said that she was pregnant with our first kid, and I played the song for Mehdi, and it was like something clicked in his mind when he heard this song. He saw the whole storyline. We knew that this song had to be like a cornerstone in the movie. So yeah, sure. I asked her, like, what do you feel about this? Because it's a very personal song, but she gave me the thumbs up, luckily. I would say the way that he gets his breakthrough, Elliot, is very similar to how my own journey started when I was like 18, 19 years old. The first thing I ever put out was a cover on YouTube, and that sort of took off overnight. So in many ways, the journey started the same way, and it felt like it happened super fast for me in Denmark with my own career. So yeah, there's some similarities for sure. Yeah, it's true, my character in the movie had no intention on becoming a singer, but I would say I always knew that I wanted to be a singer. Then the tough question is like, do you have the talent to do it? Do you have the timing and the luck and all the things that it takes? And luckily I had all those things on my side. So I knew since I started playing the guitar when I was 12 years old, and I started writing my own songs and stuff. I kind of early on knew that this is what, if the universe allows me, this is what I want to do with my life. Yeah, you could say. I would say that A Beautiful Life was almost like a therapeutic experience for me, because I was just writing from this very vulnerable, dark place. And it was very like back to the roots for me, in the sense that it's very singer-songwriter. All the songs I wrote on my guitar or sitting at the piano. So it felt a little bit like coming home. And this album that I'm making right now is a lot more about, you know, trying to find that balance and like traveling the world, touring a lot, and being a family man at the same time. So in many ways, I would say that the next album, the one that I'm releasing next year, is dedicated to my family. Have I ever fallen in love with a producer or a colleague? I think I probably have at some point. I've been working with a lot of amazing women through the years, and maybe fell in love a little bit with some of them. I fall in love all the time. I fall in love way too easily, so yeah. It's hard to avoid. I love several things about Spain. I'll say, first of all, it's probably the beautiful women. The food is another one that I really love. Yeah, the food and the women. What else? I just love the climate that is taking over the world, basically. And yeah, all these Spanish artists and the reggaeton is taking over the world. It's like a big wave of like just Latin music in general, just really taking over and dominating the charts. So I know all the biggest Spanish artists, and I'm a big fan of a lot of Spanish artists. Like recently I watched Rosalia at the Roskilde Festival, one of the biggest Danish festivals that I happen to play as well. And yeah, she's so good. Any favorite? I wrote a song for a Spanish artist many years ago. His name is David Bisbal. And I think the song is called 10,000 maneras. The original title is Shipwrecked, and I can't even remember why I gave that song to him, but he was just a big artist at the time. I don't know if he still is, he probably is. Yeah, it would be very fun at some point to play that song live with him. Oh, there are so many artists that I would love to work with and collaborate with, Rosalia being one of them. David Bisbal would be another one. That'd be a fun, full circle moment for me. I mean, Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Rihanna, the list goes on. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of cliches in this film, but to me, cliche is not a bad word, you know. I love the happy endings. I love when you sort of know where it's going and then it's moving in that direction. So to me, this whole film, you can say, is one big, a story about like this guy who's lost, who finds himself through the music, falls in love, and spoiler alert, gets the girl at the end. So it's not like a big thriller with a big plot twist. It is a movie about, getting a beautiful life. That's why it's called A Beautiful Life, and hopefully some people, that's what I hope people will take away from watching this movie. They will feel inspired to do the things that they want to do and that they love to do. Like Elliot, he doesn't really want to sing, but then he's convinced into it, and then it becomes his whole life, and everything good that ever happens to him is rooted, and it comes from that thing that he loves. And looking into the future and looking at my professional goals, I would say the major thing is like touring all over Europe, playing arenas, and just getting my music out there and seeing my music cross borders, and yeah, just touring a lot, getting out there and play this music to the world. Hopefully this is not going to be my last acting. I mean, I've gotten that question a lot, whether I will act again, and the answer is definitely yes. The next question is like when, and I don't really know. Right now I'm focused on the music thing for sure. I would love to play the villain in some role. I think I'd make a good villain, but yeah, let's see.
Suscríbete y entérate de todo.